Once again, Netflix has come at us with a true crime docuseries, and the public is eating up every minute of it. Tiger King was first released on March 20th, and the episodic murder mystery is exactly what the people needed during the pandemic, something to distract them. Tiger King has done exactly that. Everyone's talking about Joe Exotic, Carole Baskin, and of course, the mysterious disappearance of Carole's ex-husband, Don Lewis. Did he go to Costa Rica? Did Carole grind him up and feed him to the tigers? There are so many questions surrounding Don, but most importantly, everyone just wants to know what happened to Carole Baskin's husband, Don Lewis. How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. I'm your host, the dark voice of despair, Jared Bronstein. Got that one from a fan. And today we're going to be talking about Don Lewis. If you haven't seen the Tiger King docuseries on Netflix or don't know what I'm talking about, I would recommend doing so. Otherwise, a good majority of this video won't make any sense to you. Although I will do my best to explain and briefly summarize in about 10 minutes, there's only so much that can be said regarding a 7-episode series where each episode averages about 48 minutes. So in today's video, we'll be talking about all the theories regarding Carole Baskin's ex-husband, and as always, I'd love to hear what you think happened to him in the comments down below. Share this video with a Tiger King fan, and stick around for some bonus content at the end of this one, but for now, let's get right into it. To start this one off, let's talk about the man himself, Don Lewis. The late Lewis was a US-born, self-made millionaire businessman. At a young age, he would marry and have 3 kids, but divorced after 30-plus years of marriage. This is where Carole comes along. Don and Carole would meet, fall in love, and eventually marry in 1991. Don's company, Wildlife on Easy Street, would eventually be turned into Big Cat Rescue, which is now run by Carole. Now, it's important to mention, over the few years Carole and Don were together, he did go on solo trips to Costa Rica. Before he randomly disappeared, Don also apparently told a friend he was planning to pull something off. With that being said, according to the docuseries, Don and Carole were having marital problems before his sudden disappearance, and he wasn't reported missing by Carole until 3 days after he was nowhere to be found. Carole told the authorities he claimed to be going to Costa Rica, and his van was found in the airport parking lot, but there was no evidence Don ever went to Costa Rica or even boarded a plane. It almost seems like Carole had a bad alibi. Following a lack of evidence, the case went cold and nothing ever seemed to come of the investigations that took place back in 1997 when Don went missing. Now, over 20 years later, with Tiger King grabbing the world's attention, people are starting to look into the case again. One of Don's daughters from his first marriage, Donna Pettis, told People magazine in an interview back in 1998 that she believes Carole fed her father to the tigers. I quote, "It's a perfect scenario to dispose of someone. We were upset that the cops didn't test the DNA on the meat grinder," end quote. Although it was a bold claim, at that point the cops didn't have any reason to check for Don's DNA on the meat grinder, nor would they find any almost a year later. It didn't help Carole's case either in 2002, when Don was officially declared dead. At this point, Carole would inherit his $1 million fortune, as well as the 40 acres of land in Tampa, which is now known as Big Cat Rescue. Of course, Don's children had an issue with this, which led to years of legal battles in court as to who is entitled to what. This might have fueled the speculation from Don's children that Carole had something to do with his disappearance. In response to the claims, Carole said her tigers eat meat, not people. She also wanted to say, I quote, "Can you imagine having people think you killed your husband or wife and not being able to prove otherwise? Without a body, there is nothing I can do to clear my name," end quote. Now, Joe Exotic, who's currently serving prison time for trying to hire a hitman to kill Carole Baskin, is certain she was responsible for Don's disappearance. Joe is one of many people who thinks Baskin has something to do with her late husband's disappearance, but his reasoning compared to others to believe so may stem from different reasons. Some people genuinely didn't and still don't trust Carole and think she's evil. Joe thinks the same, and more. The two have an ongoing rivalry, and it all seemed to start with a newspaper article. Considering how Exotic has a tiger park, or exotic animal park, whatever you want to call it, and Baskin has a large cat sanctuary, as she would call it, it's understandable why they wouldn't see eye to eye. But after Baskin pretty much slandered Joe's name and brand and said he was breeding tigers for financial gain, it was personal. The two would become bitter rivals and still are to this day, but before Joe would be imprisoned, which we'll get to later, he would not only make claims regarding Carole's involvement in her husband's disappearance, but would even make a song and music video about it. Unfortunately, we can't show you guys the video, but if you search Joe Exotic Here Kitty Kitty, it will come up, or alternatively, we'll leave the link in our description down below. And yes, the video and song fully accuse Carole of feeding her late husband to the tigers. It's like they have the kind of rivalry put on by the WWE. Talk about entertainment. In 2011, things got serious when Carole secured a multi-million-dollar judgment against Joe and his park. Joe is very vocal about his feelings towards Carole and expressed his feelings on Facebook and YouTube, going as far as threatening her. And that probably wasn't the smartest idea, but unfortunately Joe would take things a step further and allegedly tried to hire 2 hitmen to kill Carole Baskin. In 2017, Joe offered $3,000 up front and a promise to pay thousands more afterward for someone to take her out. Turns out the guy that Joe offered the cash to was an undercover FBI agent. And Exotic would be sentenced to 22 years in prison following his 2018 arrest, which included 2 counts of murder for hire and 17 wildlife charges. Now, it's understandable why Joe Exotic would be in the camp of Carole Baskin killed her own husband. I mean, the guy tried hiring a hitman to kill her, so obviously any claims that will affect her negatively, he's going to support. Carole, of course, is playing into the role of victim, and in a video statement said she was relieved Joe Exotic was finally going to be locked up, and, I quote, "If this vicious, obsessed man is ever released from jail, my life and my family's lives will return to what it was like during the decade leading up to his arrest," end quote. Carole Baskin has obviously maintained her innocence from the start, giving the cops the original story that Don claimed to be going to Costa Rica and was never seen again. It's unclear why she waited 3 days to tell the cops he was missing, but she has since come out with a very detailed blog post regarding how the document portrays her and how she feels. Spoiler alert, she isn't very happy. She refers to the series as having, I quote, "the sole goal of being salacious and sensational as possible to draw viewers," end quote, and calls the series out for claims suggesting she had something to do with Dawn's disappearance. Writing, I quote, "It has a segment devoted to suggesting, with lies and innuendos from people who are not credible, that I had a role in the disappearance of my husband Dawn in 1997. The series presents this without any regard for the truth, or in most cases even giving me an opportunity before publication to rebut the absurd claims. They do not care about the truth. The unsavory lies are better for getting viewers," end quote. The interesting thing here is that 2 months before his disappearance, Dawn did file a restraining order against Carole and claimed she tried to kill him. The court order was dismissed, and 2 months later, Dawn would go missing without a trace. In her blog, Carole does admit their marriage wasn't perfect. I quote her writing, "Dawn was not easy to live with, and like most couples, we had our moments. But I never threatened him, and I certainly had nothing to do with his disappearance. When he disappeared, I did everything I could to assist the police," end quote. Carole even claimed to hire a private investigator to look into his disappearance. Yet 23 years later, and still, there isn't a trace as to what actually happened to Dawn Lewis. Now, with all the hype over the docuseries Tiger King, a local sheriff's office in Hillsborough reopened an investigation regarding Dawn Lewis's whereabouts. If Lewis were still around today, he would be about 81 years old. Unfortunately, considering how he hasn't been seen since August 18th, 1997, I doubt anyone would recognize him if he still was around. Although it is possible that Dawn did elope, which some believe is the case, I have a feeling Carole may have been involved in his disappearance. Now, this is just my personal opinion, based on the evidence I was able to gather, both through the docuseries as well as online. But now I want to hear from you guys. Given all the information you know, do you think Carole is responsible for the disappearance of her late husband, Don? Or do you think he took off? Or do you have a theory of your own? Make sure to drop some comments down below letting me know. For now, we're going to respond to some comments from the video, What If the Men in Black Are Real? Owen Rules 9468 said, "The Men in Black told you to make this video, didn't they?" Dude, they're not real. I wouldn't even know if they did. They probably probably tell me to do it, I would do it, and they neuralize me, so I'd be sitting here being like, they didn't tell me they don't exist. So, I don't know, maybe they did, I don't know. We Are Legion said, "Let's hope there's more intelligent life out there, because humans are getting dumber by the day." You know what? People are so quick to say humans are dumb, and you know what? They do a lot of dumb stuff, yes, but there are also some very smart humans. Everything we figured out, look around, is all I'm saying. Cars, planes, humans have created all this stuff, so we're not as dumb as we seem. Aliens Exist said, "Hello everyone, my name is Aliens Exist, and welcome to the comment section." Hi. Alright. Real Lucifer said, "He's been neuralized." It's definitely a possibility, because you know what? We wouldn't know, so it's possible. Joseph the Trinidad said, "This video is sponsored by the US government." Well, considering how we are based and located out of Canada, I mean, I guess they could still pay for things, so you have a point. Anyways, guys, I've been your host, Jared Bronstein, and we'll see you guys in the next one.